you struggling to make ends meet in this economy with an ever-growing grocery bill? Today we're going to continue to focus on some old-fashioned homemaking skills that it's going to save us lots of money, and I'm going to be making a meal for my family of 6 for less than $5. And of course, some biblical encouragement along the way. So go grab a cup of coffee, go start a little laundry, and let's dig in. First, we're going to start by giving this kitchen a good clean. It has been such a beautiful day outside, and so we've been spending most of our time outside, which has left some of the cleaning to take the back burner. So before I start cooking and getting my kitchen dirty again, I just wanted to give it a nice tidy of the things that I won't be using. If you've watched my previous video, then you know that I've been so intrigued with the Depression era homemaking. I've recently found some old cooking books from my great-grandmother, and a few of those were from that era, and I've just been trying to learn as much as possible, especially in this economy when things are rising and we just need to save money in every possible way. Cooking yummy, nutritious food does not have to be expensive, and I know healthy food has gotten such a bad rap over the time that you need 50 ingredients to make a yummy meal, but that is not the case. Today, I'm going to be making simple, yummy foods that are going to be filling and that are going to last and that are easy and affordable. I had a life group this morning with some ladies, so I didn't have time to record me making this, but this is an oatmeal bake and it is so good. We have oatmeal, banana, peanut butter, chocolate chips, and a little bit of chia seeds, and that is it. You mix everything in this dish and then you bake it for 20 to 30 minutes, and there you have this yummy oatmeal bar. Now, this may be controversial, but we do not meal prep. I buy several ingredients that we keep in the pantry or the fridge or freezer at all times, and I will just go and make recipes out of that instead of buying a bunch of ingredients and then maybe not even get to those and then they're wasted. Today, the main meal that I'm going to be making is some old-fashioned egg noodles. All you're going to need is some flour, an egg, and salt. That is it. 3 simple ingredients to make yummy noodles that you could do multiple things with. Today I'm going to be making a special sauce to go along with that as well. Now, because eggs are so expensive, this meal is a little more pricier, coming out at around $4. But if you have backyard chickens like I do, then you can make this meal even cheaper. This generation that we live in is so caught up on convenience. Now, yes, it would be so easy to just go buy a box of pasta from the store and then get that boiling, but a box of pasta, especially for my family, is about $5 to $6, and that isn't even going to feed my family enough. I would have to buy 2 boxes, so that's $12 for one meal. And that's not even including the topping or any meat to go along with that as well. So I am going to prep this pasta dough the day before because I plan to make this for lunch. And so when you are living a frugal life and when you are cooking almost everything from scratch, you really need to think things through. Now, I don't meal prep, but I do plan things out. So like with sourdough, I have to think ahead. When am I going to want the sourdough? So I have to plan it ahead. So for this, I know the next day is going to be very busy, but I want to have pasta for our family. So I'm just going to get this dough prepped. So all I'm going to have to do the next day is roll it out and cut it and then boil it. And now it's time to eat. So it really would only take about the same time as it would to open up a box, pour it in, and cook it. So here you're going to dump out your flour and make a little well. As you can see, this well broke a little bit, so I'm just scooping the egg yolk back into the flour. But usually you'll make your well deep enough and sturdy enough that the eggs are not going to leak out, and you'll just push the flour into the egg and just continue stirring it up until it turns into a dough. Do not add any extra water or anything or any more flour. Just trust the process. I know it looks really wet right now, but as you continue mixing, it's going to form together, and then we are going to roll it into a little circular disc. I would love to hear down in the comments, what is your family's favorite go-to meal when you need something quick but also on a budget? I love hearing all of your ideas, so let me know down in the comments. So as you can see, the dough is not as sticky. I can now use my hands, and I'm going to just scrape it up and just continue to push it along the counter to form it more. From there, I'm going to add them to Ziploc bags and put it in the fridge and let it sit overnight, just because I'm not going to use it until the next day. It can be easy to fall in the trap of anxiety and worry, especially in the economy we live in right now. You may be struggling far more than you ever thought you would ever struggle in your life right now. Or you may be on the highest part of your life right now. But either way, we need to trust and rely on the Lord. He strengthens us in our time of struggle, and He also strengthens us in our time of joy and rejoicing. In our highest mountain or our lowest valley, the Lord is there, and He is waiting for us to come to Him. Jesus wants to be a part of it all. The ugly, the happy, all of it. And so we need to bring Him into our lives in every single arrogant aspect. Even the ugly parts, He wants to be a part of it. Leftovers is one way we save lots of money in this family. I try to make a bigger amount of our food from the night previously so we can have leftovers for lunch, but it's getting harder as our family gets bigger. We are a family of 6, so sometimes I will add extra things into our leftovers so it can stretch it even more. It is now the next day and it is going to rain, so I want to get some of our onions and some other seeds into the ground, into our garden beds before it rains, because I feel like rain is just such a good thing. Once you have something planted, for it to rain everything in, it helps things grow so much more. I'm also adding a little bit of fertilizer here. I mean, it's worm castings, so last year I didn't use it, but the year previously I used it, and I could tell a difference in the garden, so I'm just gonna add those. I picked up these onion starts from Walmart. Now I typically wouldn't buy things like this from Walmart, but it was only less than $4 for this bag of 100 onion starts. And I figured, why not? Let's give it a try. If they work, I might purchase a few more from our local nursery, but I just wanted to get these started. I did notice once I opened the bag that more than half of these were already kind of yucky, rotten, or molded. So if you do purchase these from Walmart, just make sure you try to check through the bag as much as possible before you purchase it. My family and I love spring. We could be outside all day long, but we do have responsibilities in the house like school and stuff. But on these fresh spring days, I do have a little flexibility and we can just spend time outside. In Ecclesiastes 3:1, it says, "For everything there is a season, and a time for every matter under heaven." Now, I encourage you to go read the whole chapter of Ecclesiastes 3 to get the full content of that verse. But there is a season for everything. And right now, your season may be struggle. But God has a plan and a purpose for all things that work together for His glory. We need to be patient and trust Him that even in the difficult times, that good times will follow. God is sovereign and his wisdom is perfect. He orchestrates all things in his perfect timing. He orchestrates all things for his good. The storm clouds have rolled in on this spring day, and now it is time to get lunch started. So I'm back inside and I am going to roll out these discs and get our noodles cooking. You want it to be pretty thin so when they cook, they don't puff up too much, and make sure your surface is really floured. I use arrowroot powder. I think next time I'll just use flour, but I didn't want to have to mill any extra. I didn't have any left, so I just used what was more convenient and it worked, but there were some sticky spots. With new seasons comes new rhythms. Yes, the calendar seasons like spring, summer, and fall, but also the seasons of life. It's okay to adjust with each season, whether that means you have to slow down and do more of your homemaking and home cooking, being more present, or maybe it's a busy season. Either way, adjust. And God is there with you through each and every season. So after you have your dough rolled out pretty thin, you're going to cut them into slices and just set them off to the side while you have some water boiling in the back. I used to think that making homemade noodles was so hard and scary and complicated, but look how easy it was to make these yummy noodles, and I promise you, they taste so much better than store-bought, and they are a lot healthier for you. Alright, let's make a basic sauce to add on top. I'm just going to start with a can of tomatoes. I'm going to add a little bit of carrots, some salt, some garlic, and some onion. I just didn't want to cut up some onion right now, so I added some onion, some dried onion. So I'm going to just focus on taking these noodles out when they're finished and just adding more to the pot till they're cooked while the sauce is cooking. So I just added everything into the pot and I'm going to let that simmer down until the carrots are cooked all the way through. I am thrilled that it is raining. I love these beautiful spring and summer rainy days. It's getting me so excited for summer and the warmer days to come. Once the carrots were cooked all the way through, I just took an immersion blender and then blended it all up. You could also just use a smasher, like a mashed potato smasher, and smash them up as well. I then am now just going to serve. I'm using some of the leftover chicken from the day previously. We still had quite a bit, so I'm going to put that on top of our pasta and sauce, stir it all up, and it was divine. That is all that I have for you guys today. I pray that you have a beautiful week. Comment any prayer requests that you may have down below. I will catch you guys on the next one, but in the meantime, check out these videos. I think you'll love them.